Imagine, it's a freezing winter night. Snow is falling. You're walking alone on an empty street. Suddenly, someone calls your name from behind. You turn around, no one is there. But this is not your imagination. Tonight, I'm going to tell you 3 real horror stories from Canada that still haunt locals. Stories so disturbing that after hearing them, you might never want to go out alone again. If you have the courage, watch this full video till the end. But keep your headphones on, because sometimes you can hear breathing right behind you. It was the winter of 2023. My friend Alex was in Montreal's Old Port area shooting footage for a documentary. It was almost 11 p.m. Light snow was falling. He was standing in front of an old apartment building near Prince Arthur Street, a place locals say has a dark reputation. Suddenly, a soft female voice came from behind him. "Excuse me, do you have the time?" He turned and saw a pale young woman, around 22 years old, wearing a long black coat. She introduced herself as Isabel and said she used to live on the 3rd floor of that building. Back in 1978, she was waiting for her boyfriend. Alex noticed something terrifying. In the freezing cold, he couldn't see her breath. When she reached out to touch his coat, her hand passed straight through his body like ice-cold air. Alex ran for his life. The next day, he checked old newspaper archives and library records. In 1978, a woman named Isabelle Leclerc committed suicide in that exact building. She had been waiting for her boyfriend who never came. Locals still report seeing her on cold winter nights. If a woman asks you for the time and you can't see her breath, it's Isabelle. And those who speak to her often feel like they're waiting for something that never comes. In 2019, an Italian international student named Jack rented a room in an old boarding house on Duane Street in Toronto. From the very first night, strange things started happening. Every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., he would hear footsteps on the stairs. The person kept walking up, but the stairs never seemed to end. Jack would open his door. No one was there, yet the footsteps continued. One night, he decided to check it himself. He walked down 12 steps, but the staircase kept going. Panicking, he tried to go back up, but now even going upstairs felt endless. In the dim light of his phone, he saw old blood stains on the wall and a faded newspaper clipping. In 1967, the owner of the house had murdered his wife by pushing her down these exact stairs. Since then, her spirit is said to be trapped, endlessly climbing the stairs but never reaching the top. Anyone who walks these stairs at night reportedly finds it almost impossible to leave the building unharmed. Jack moved out the very next day. But even now, he sometimes wakes up at 3:15 a.m., hearing the same footsteps in his new apartment. In 2022, during the rainy season in Vancouver, a cameraman named Miller moved into a suburban house. He loved shooting nighttime lapse videos. For the first few nights, everything was normal. Then one night, his camera captured a woman standing outside the window in heavy rain. She was staring directly at the camera. Her face was deathly white and her eyes looked hollow. The next night, she was closer. On the 3rd night, she was standing right against the glass, staring inside. Terrified, Miller called the police. They found nothing, but the footage still exists. Later, Miller discovered the horrifying truth. In 1994, a woman was brutally murdered by her husband in that exact house. After killing her, he buried her body in the woods behind the house. Locals believe she still returns on rainy nights, staring through windows, looking for whoever is sleeping in her place. The tenant who moved in after Jack said one night, "Someone is standing at my window smiling at me." The next morning, he was found unconscious in his bed.